Okay, so we are looking at this lab. Let's see. This one is actually funny. They talk about Windows Server 2012, 27, I mean Windows 7, and then they go on and they say Windows 10 and Windows 10. Huh? It's so funny. Okay. Everything was badly done. Uh, but okay. One thing you need to check for your VM, your GNS3 VM, make sure you give it two CPUs, and for some reason it won't allow you to do four or three. It will give you an error, and it won't be able to start the VM. So just make sure it has two, because I realized something yesterday where, yes, where the router was hanging for some reason. The router was hanging because the VM was hanging. So I don't know. I don't know why that was happening. So just make sure it has two. And then similarly, you can't do it within VMware. I'm saying VMware. Oh my god. You can't do it within Hyper-V. Hyper-V. Yeah. You can try to change this, but it won't let you. Not because it's switched on right now. Obviously, when it's switched on, you can't change anything. But I tried changing it in here and setting it to 4, and then for some reason, GNS3 would just change it back to 1. So you have to actually do it within GNS3, and then it will set it for you. It won't be contradicting you all the time. Lastly, the other VMs, I also went out and basically also bumped them up as well. I gave them all four cores, all of them. I think for almost all of them, especially the Windows Server, because we're going to be mainly working in Windows Server and Kali Linux. For the Windows 10, we're not really going to be working in them, because the project doesn't really tell us to do so. We basically have them in there to just monitor the the services running on the network, right? Yeah. One main service that is common is SMB. So, and it's very vulnerable. There's a lot of experts for SMB, but we're not gonna investigate an expert for SMB. We're just gonna look at the services running. So we could activate SMB and actually detect it when we are doing a network footprint. Um, but yeah, there's a bunch of services like Kubernetes is also already running. You'll be able to detect it. We're gonna do that inside Kali Linux. Let me just log in quick. Do you have yours running? Yeah, it's running. I'm gonna log in now. Yeah, the performance is not great, of course, because we are running a virtual machine inside a virtual machine. Lag. Yeah, very laggy, but we're gonna be working on the command line, so it shouldn't be a problem. It would have been great if we just loaded Kali Linux as a command line tool, but it's fine. Let's do it old school. Actually, old school would be kind of command line, but anyway. So yeah, for footprinting, we're gonna be using Nmap. I'll just go over Nmap quickly, and then we'll go back and double check whether you are properly configured in order to continue answering the questions. Right. So the tool we're gonna be using is Nmap. Right. If you just type in Nmap, it will give you its documentation. Like this is not the full documentation. It's just the outline of all the commands available. So the ones that we're gonna be using here, um, they actually give you an example at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna run a variation of this one, this command, the third command, right? So to allow us to test the network, but we're gonna add in some extra stuff because they actually tell us in our assignment that, excuse me, okay. They actually tell us in our assignment here, let's just see. They want us to discover the operating system running on the hosts as well as the MAC address. But we actually use the same command to do so. And then also additionally, they ask us to find the open ports, right? And then to also discover the several running services, right? So we're gonna do all of that in Nmap. We can do it all in one command, or we can do them separately, right? Yeah. So I really wish this was much faster, but it's really slow. That's what you get when you run a VM inside a VM. But here, OS detection, right? That's gonna detect the operating system. It's gonna try its best to detect, but it's not the best out there actually. It uses many methods to try to do that, but and then there's also search techniques over here. A stealth scan. This is what they call a stealth scan, and then there's other ones here. I'm not too familiar with them. Then there's host discovery. So how are you gonna discover the computers on the network, right? What we actually need to do if you want them to show up nicely is to actually log into them, right? So now that I've just briefly showed you what we're gonna do, you need to first configure your router correctly, your router, so that your network is actually working and communicating, and that you have set up everything. So one question: did you already provision Active Directory on your server?
Windows Server.
Uh,
Yeah, I did, but I don't know if it's working. I didn't test it out. I'm still doing stuff in my server.
okay. Um, a question that I want to know is, because I've already done it, in order to demonstrate it, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna be able to do that without making the video too long. Um, for the router part, it's actually quite simple. We can just reconfigure it immediately, right?
Okay.
So I can just start the console. Do you have a network topology a network you want to set up? Like, do you have an IP range that you want to set up, or do you want to use the same one I'm using?
I don't know.
Okay,
Whichever.
let's use the same as mine. So let me just get. I want to put a text box. What is this? Ah, there we go. So the router, I'm gonna change my network. So I'm gonna make it a 9.2.168.168.2 zero network, right? So I'll just put that there. Oh, it's a /24 network, right? And then I'm gonna make the default gateway, of course, 192.168.8.1, which is the router right here, right? Then the DNS server is gonna be this one, which is gonna be 192.168.8.10. I'll make it 10. Oh, let me make it 5. Okay, I'll just put it there. And then these ones are all going to be DHCP. So I won't give them an IP address. I'll just say here DHCP. So we don't actually know their IP addresses. Sort out your mic. you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So all of these are going to be DHCP. We'll discover the addresses later, but we definitely know. So this is static and this is static, and they're going to have that. So now, one thing I can tell you is that I don't have all of this in my mind. I don't know the commands by my mind, so I'm going to follow a guide. But I kind of remember what I need to do. So the basic stuff, you need to say enable. Are you following?
Yeah.
So on your router, I've already configured mine, so I'll just have to reconfigure it. Enable, and then uh, config terminal, right? Yeah, this is where I've forgotten. um, Let me have a
What are we
look.
doing? DHCP, isn't it? DHCP pull something.
No, we first need to give it an IP address.
Oh, okay. Then you say IP address, blah, blah, blah.
The interface. I want to do it in order. So
Oh.
yeah, so you start with the interface.
Mm. The FA slash what?
Yeah, the interface that we are having. So FA0/0. Yeah, because then we need to go into that interface and then we set the IP address on the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, IP address. So 192.168.8.1, and then 255.255.255.0. So that's a /24 inside a notation. Then no shutdown. I remember when I actually got really good at this when we were doing packet tracer. But
Bruh, I had the commands on lock, bruh. I don't even know them now.
exit. So now I think we can configure the DHCP pool. So IP DHCP pool, and then you give it a name, right? You give it like, I'm gonna call it my one ITSC Azure pool.
I think I did some of this. Then I made also. This is still going to configure the, because I remember the 10.10.10.1. Is it this stuff?
Yes, we're just changing the topology so that it's not the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I'm actually redoing it instead of applying settings that are already there. It's pointless because we won't know if it worked. So if I change it, if it doesn't work, then I know I missed something, right?
Yeah.
It needs to behave like a new network. So now let me have a look here, because I actually don't have this in my head. The actual commands. Let me do this. I did do it already before, so I can just edit this so that I know what I need to do then. Yeah. Okay, wait. Okay, so once we're in the DHC people, we can basically just say network. Uh, network. Then we say 192.168.8.0, and then give it a side annotation 255, 255, 255. I don't get it. Cisco, they support CIDR in some places, and then they don't support CIDR in other places, which doesn't make sense. Oh, the rain. Can you hear the rain?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
192.168.
damn, I think said reconnecting. Yes, yes.
Ah, and then 8. So default router is basically who's gonna be the gateway. So we already said it's gonna be this one. Then we need to give a DNS server. DNS server is gonna be 192.168.8.5. Is that what we said, right? Um, yes, 5. Okay. I like to give my domain a domain name, basically, right? Because what will happen is you'll have like PC1, um, PC PC1 dot itsc forward slash Azure dot lab, right? So it'll be under your domain, so you don't have to check whether your network is actually working. If you can ping your computers using the host names, then you know your network is working properly, right? So that's why I like to set it up so that I know I can use it. So domain name itsc dot Azure, because even setting up Active Directory and setting up a domain controller, it doesn't actually fix that. It only works within the Windows environment. But what about Linux? Sometimes you want your Linux computers to also actually be routed through that. So okay, I think that's about it. We can just exit here and then basically say also IP. We should not forget this. DHCP exclude. Am I spelling it right? Yeah, excluded. Looks like it doesn't know it. Excluded. Oh, because it's supposed to be two separate words. So IP DHCP excluded address. So this actually takes a list of addresses separated by spaces that you want to exclude, and it actually takes a range. So 1 to 192.168.8.10 is going to be excluded from the net from DHCP, and then we can exit. Right, now that's been configured. Now we need to configure telnet. To set it up to work. For some reason my telnet configuration doesn't look like it's here. Oh, there it is. Huh, that's weird. So we need to set up telnet. um, just type config again if you exited. We didn't need to exit. Enter. Then you want to say username. uh, so you can set up a username. I just set mine to telnet admin, so that I know what it is. And then you set the privilege 15, and then you just say password. Then you give it a password. So I'm gonna give mine capital T telnet um, pass with a @ sign. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you following along? Are you catching up?
Yeah, my internet dropped for a bit, but now it's back.
So you with me though?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's setting up the telnet username and the telnet password. Then we actually need to configure telnet, right? Just need to double check that information. Line con 0. Yeah. So line VTY04, and then log in local, and then privilege level. Privilege is basically that line there after the exit out timeout 00. Privilege level 15. I actually got this from a website. I'll show you how to do it, and then that should be it. You can say end. It's gonna configure that, and then what you want to do is copy running to starting, then press enter, confirm. Okay, now that should be okay. Exit. Ah, I exit and I reconnect. So let's double check whether it's actually been configured. If I check my configuration, it just rewrote the other one. So let's see what's correct. This needs to go. That's alright. DHC people looks alright. Username was changed with a capital T. ETH0 is correct. And yeah, everything looks correct. Let's refresh that again. This needs to go. Let's delete that. Sometimes I try saving this, but it doesn't work. It doesn't update. If I refresh, oh, it actually worked. Sometimes it doesn't. So then you can just reload the router, reload it. Then we want to go and configure our. If you have already installed Active Directory, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. Maybe you can remove Active Directory and reinstall it. But I've already set up a domain. Did you set up a domain?
Yeah.
Was it the same domain I set up?
Yeah, the same one.
Okay. Let's connect. Excuse me. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, one tip. Before you go in, make sure you click Control Alt Delete because this happens. Yeah. It just froze the whole thing. Okay, you have to press this little button, Control Alt Delete, because you can't do it while you logged into the VM because it's gonna actually call that function on your actual computer. So you just do it here. So you can log in. Then log in. The password is capital P @SS word. If you are using this VM that I set up. Did you make your own VM or did you use my VM?
What do you mean?
Did you set up your own virtual machine for Windows Server with your own password
Yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm just wondering because some people might use my VM and then they don't know the password, so that's the password for that one.
I made my own password. Yeah.
Okay. Um, did you add users?
Yeah, I added 2 users.
Okay, cool. This was faster. Now it's slow for some reason. Okay. So we look at the network configuration. It's not using PowerShell. So sad. Is your one using PowerShell? I don't think, eh?
Not.
Command prompts. Okay, it's fine. Commands will still work. Uh, config. Just to look at the configuration. So you see, the configuration is already wrong. We need to change it to the new one, right? Um, let's have a look. So it's not easy to do it from that side. So you just type in control panel. Take its time. Open control panel. Uh, network. I just went a really long way. Um, Ethernet. 10 gigabit. Streaming. Okay, so this all needs to be configured. You can see here, Active Directory sets itself as a DNS server. So we just need to change. We need to change this 192.168.8, and then this needs to change to 168.8. That's it. I think that's all that needs to change. This should be fine. So it's basically calling itself as a DNS server. Close. And then let's ask. There we go. Let's try ping the router. 192.168.1. It's working. It's pinging. So the network is fine, right? This might not work.
I'm still setting it up.
Tell me if your one pings. I'm gonna just run an NS lookup. It might not work. NS lookup router. It might not work. So yeah, and you can even see it's using the IPv6 part of this server, and it doesn't know anything about that. Let's have a look quickly. No. DNS. So this one's been updated. These ones are still old. This one's been updated. So who's this now? See, these two pieces are still on the old one. They need to also be updated. I don't know how it's gonna do it. I've actually not dived into much into this stuff. Just give me a second. Did your network ping?
I'm putting the IPs now.
Okay.
It's 192.168.8.0.
Yeah. Set a record to whom now? Obviously to this. Here's the thing, you can actually update this by yourself. Right.
From where? Oh, from the thing.
Yeah. This is how people do it, man. Record can't be updated. Record already exists. Really? Let's try that. Yeah. Oh, it added it in, so it was a duplicate. It kept the old one and it still had the new one. Okay. Maybe I can delete this then. Yeah. These
The
guys.
default gateway was 192.168.1.
Yes, the router. Remember the topology we had. So if you did it, it's this is how it's supposed to be. So the server is supposed to have this address, and the router is supposed to have this address, and they're supposed to be pinging. Let's try to ping. I'm gonna try to ping from the router to the DNS server.
Wait. The IP address I'm setting for this ping here is the .5 one. Yeah?
It's not connecting. How come? Did I just mess up my connection? Huh. Go back to overview. Uh, that's odd. Let's restart this. Huh. That's weird. It wasn't. It didn't want to connect. Okay. Um, let's ping 192.168.8.5, and it worked. Okay. So the network is configured. So now these others need to all be restarted so they can get new IP addresses. We can actually do it from within the computers. So I'm gonna try to do that. I actually don't know how to reconfigure IP addresses using the CLI on Linux. I usually do it manually. Um, so I'm gonna just let it restart and get its own IP address dynamically by itself. So if you did set up Active Directory, right? We should be able to just log in. I think so. So password is password, same as the server. You may have to actually restart the server so that this also updates, because it's still showing the old information. Let me just double check quickly here if I can ns lookup old records PC1. Who's gonna reply? And it replied. Cool. So it's actually still picking up the old PCs that are still on the old network, and it found them. But I think that's because they're coming straight from itself, so it knows about them. This one's never gonna log in. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna restart these computers, all of them, even the server as well. So, but GNS3, do not restart GNS3. Um, let's just call it turn off. Did you get your stuff pinging?
No, I'm changing the users. I'll keep the total users. See, my domain is still the old one.
Mm-hmm.
Should I use, because on my here it's using the old one
Yeah.
that I configured. Because the new one I saw from you, the one, because I was copying what you're doing, was ITSC Azure.lab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the old one I made, I just put project Azure.lab. So that's the one here with the users. Should I just go there and continue to edit the users?
Yeah, you see, this is the difficult part. This is why I didn't want to use my already running configuration, because I knew it would basically like come up to this point where you have a misconfigured server, and I have a differently configured server, and we can't work together. So one thing I just want to know is whether your configuration actually is working. You see, so
Yeah,
so what I want to understand is your configuration working. That's what I want to know. Are your computers able to ping?
no, they are not.
Then that means you misconfigured your router. Because if they get an IP address, did you okay? Did you configure the server and the router, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is the server and the router able to ping? Because if they're in the same one network, they're supposed to be able to ping.
Yeah, pinging, they'll pinging. The server and the router were pinging, but the two computers, there was a problem there.
Yeah, they just need to get new IP addresses. Remember, because on the chart here, we they're gonna have DHCP on them, right?
Hmm.
So restarting them usually helps. It could help. Um, and that's what I want to verify now. Let me just log into the server quick because we need that. Um, and I think you should do the same. Did you restart your stuff?
For the other two laptops,
No, yeah, yeah. Did you restart the other computers? Did you restart all your computers?
let me start from now. I didn't restart the two.
You can restart them if you need to. No, cancel. Let's have a look here. Mm, I just double check. IP config all. Okay, let's have a look here now. I've already seen this, but it's good to check again. DNS server is this. Why is it doing that? Not that it's too bad, it's just that preferred should be this at the top. Okay, preferred. Um, okay, this looks good. Let's just double check here. DNS. Ah, yeah, so one guy is updated, one guy has not updated yet. PC2. I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who's PC2 here. Let's double check here quickly. So this is
Check the
PC1.
port.
Yeah, I'm gonna just rename this one. So this is PC1, and then this is PC2. This one should. Oh, this one got a new IP address. It just hasn't been picked up by the server yet. Um, PC2 has an address. Okay, that's cool. Um, yeah, there's a funny thing with I want to say VMware, but with Hyper-V, it does not pick up IP addresses for Linux machines. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but I've noticed that it's been happening. So let's just log into this one and see if we can ping the other PCs. Because definitely we can log into this one. I think it's time to buy a heater now. Yo, this winter. My feet are freezing. Okay. Let's try ping PC1. 92.168. PC1 was 11? No, no, PC1 was 2. Well, let's see. We can ping. I'm actually trying to ping without even knowing my IP address. IP add. Um, I have an IP address. I actually have forgotten how to set up. It's because this tool is so complicated actually. The documentation is not the great. It's not the best out there. Okay, let's clear this. Okay. But it's not important. Actually, yeah, it's not important that we can ping PC1 and PC2. The whole point of it is that this machine can actually ping the server and the router. So let's try ping the server and the router. So I'll just ping this one. See, look at me. Ping. There we go. So we can ping the router. Can we ping the server? Yes, we can ping the server. So that's okay. That's good. So I want to know where you are right now because I want to go on to the next part.
By the users.
Don't worry too much about that. Just make sure that there is communication in your network. I think you need to put more emphasis on that. Yes, it would be great if you can have Active Directory working and these other PCs logging into Active Directory, because that will be a further indication that your network is actually working. Like PC1, I know I can
Okay,
definitely.
so
Mhm.
I tried bringing the server and the router together.
Yeah, did it work?
If there's communication, let me try. Let me try now. Um,
See here. See. Um, let's try Goldie. Ah, I cannot spell for all. Password. Okay, Alex Goldie. It's probably gonna deny me. You can't remote login. Oh, but I can. Okay, cool. Works. So definitely my network is working because I can log in with Goldie on another computer on the network. So I just logged into PC2.
hmm,
Yeah. So that's working perfectly.
okay. Okay, great. So I think this
Mm-hmm.
the server and the router, they are talking to each other.
Uh-huh. This one hasn't been updated. So did they ping?
Yeah, they did thing.
Okay. Can you try your Kali Linux and see it can ping the other people, like the server and the router? It's very important that they can ping.
Okay, so let me just log on. Log in.
For this one, I'm just gonna update it. Is it correct?
Okay, let me start to log out.
I'll leave this. PC2's got an IP address. PC1's got an IP address. This one's not responding. I don't think it's have to do with Linux because this one is responding. Uh, Anyway, um, I'm about to move on to the next part now.
I'm just trying to think now.
Okay. Windows has so many unnecessary splash screens. You know what I mean? Like this. Okay, now it's in. Let's see if we can ping and do a NS lookup. So we are logged in as Goldie. Let's do a NS lookup. NS lookup of PC1. Are we gonna get anything? And we did. So that works. Do we have PC2? It should respond back with our IP address. It did. Great. So DNS is working. Let's try the router. I'm not sure if it's actually resolving the router.
I'm in Linux and this thing is just looping, but it's just bringing and
Can't
host
find it.
unreachable, host unreachable. How do I stop this?
Oh, press Control C. So who did you try to ping and you can't reach them?
The server.
The server. Did you restart your Kali Linux?
Let me restart it.
Yeah, because if you didn't restart it, it won't get an IP address, a new one. I don't know how to change IP addresses in Linux. I've forgotten. I used to know. I actually do know in FreeBSD. I only know how to do it in FreeBSD. I don't know how to do it in Debian. So yeah, that's why. So get that done. We gonna go back to the document. Okay, and then just review what we need to do. Because we are still basically on question 1. So we are doing question 1.3. Give me a second. I'm gonna be back now. Just pause the video quickly. So I think it was a restart that you needed in order for your thing to start pinging again. So we've definitely done this. We set up the lab, right? Right? And we've configured DHCP and IP addresses, right, on the router.
Yeah.
And then we have verified that the server, the Windows hosts, and the Kali Linux have IP addresses. Have you checked whether your Windows hosts have IP addresses?
Let me check that now.
You can do it.
I restarted it.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it where?
You can do it quickly on here. The IP address will just show up here.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be on the same subnet as your network that you set up. So now we actually know that PC1 is number 12. So we can go to our thing and go PC1. Which one is PC1 again here? Let's have a look.
Isn't it the one down there?
It could be. So port 3. So it's connected to port 3. Let's double check here quickly. Who's port 3? I'm going to the wrong stuff. So this is port 1 and this is port 3. So port 3 is PC2 and that's number 11 on the network. So port 3. So this is 192.168.8.11 and this one is 192.168.8.12, right? Is that correct? Let's double check. PC1. Yes. And actually, let's rename this.
I just noticed that my Linux doesn't have an IP.
Oh, yes, I told you that it will not show up here. I don't know what. Maybe it's a bug, but I'll show you how to get the IP address. It doesn't show up here, right? It's a bug because they're both Debian. The VM here is Debian and this is also Debian, and I don't know why this one is showing the IP address. It's right there, right? But it's actually showing the IP address of the host network, not the client network.
Network, yeah.
Yeah. So this VM is not in the same network as this one. They're not communicating at all. So yeah, that's not a problem. I'll show you how to check it. So I want to do PC1. PC1 is that one. This one is PC2. Uh, PC2. Oh, that's okay. PC2, and this one is PC1. Then we know who we're talking about. And this one is the hacker. Oh, now let's check the IP address for the Kali Linux. It's very simple. Log into your Kali Linux.
Okay, wait.
Kali Linux. All right.
Yeah.
So once you're in Kali Linux, all you have to do is basically say, yeah, in your terminal, you can just say IP add, which stands for address, and then you look for ETH0, right? And then your IP address will show up right there with your subnetwork.
Oh.
Yeah.
IP and then which one?
It will ETH0.
Okay.
It will show the address there, inet. Then yeah, we know. So that's what address did you get?
I got 192.168.8.13.
Oh, you also got the same as mine. Weird. It could be. It could be that PC2 is talking to the router first, then PC1, then the Kali Linux. It just depends who starts first. Let's actually look. So there's like no order to it. But yeah. Now what I had done. So now what we need to do next?
Where's the document?
We've answered this, and we have also configured telnet on the router. But yeah, yes, we have done it, right? But in order for it to actually in order for us to actually know it's working, we need to actually test it by telnetting into the router, right? Now is a good point to actually start capturing the network data, right? The traffic. So you can just right click and say capture. We're going to capture the traffic between the router and the network, right? You're going to look at this.
Yeah.
So that should open up your Wireshark.
It's taking a minute.
We don't care about new versions right now. Okay. Yeah. So the router is pinging this one. Interface loop. This is so weird. And you can actually check whether it's working by sending a ping to the router. Ping. Let's have a look. 192.168.8.1. We ping the router. I'm saying IP, not ping. Ping. For some reason, Kali Linux cannot ping the router for some reason. I don't know what's that about. But I can ping the server for some reason. Or can it? It cannot ping at all. Was your Kali Linux able to ping? Yeah, you see, they host unreachable.
Unreachable, yeah.
It was saying that, right?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't make sense. It should be able to ping. It should be able to ping. I don't know. I wouldn't know where that's happening from now. But yeah, let's just try out the other guys. Ooh, these VMs are so slow. VM inside a VM. Oh, keep a watch out. If your router is doing this forever and ever and you're not seeing other traffic, just know that the router has hanged and you need to restart it. It's been
Which
happening.
one?
If you look on your pack on your Wireshark and the router is just looping, right? It could be that the router hanged, right? And you might need to actually restart it. So let's just double check because this has been happening to me and I've been wondering why. So just to diagnose this problem, just make sure when you see it looping like this and you don't see anything else, just know that it's actually hanged and you need to restart. And it was mainly happening because the VM, um, the virtual machine was hanging. It was a virtual machine hanging. So I don't know why. Something was going on. So what I'm gonna try, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna connect to PC1, log in as one of the domain users, and try to ping the router and see if it's actually responding. Is your thing also open? Your Wireshark?
I what?
Your Wireshark, is it
Yeah,
open?
it's okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think the router hanged. So we might need to restart. This has been happening to me a lot. And it only happens when I start capturing packets. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. This one's not logged in. Um, yeah, definitely I think it hanged. Yeah, so the router hanged. Let's restart it and close this. It's been happening to me a lot. So all you have to do, let's check. Sometimes it required a full restart of the VM, but sometimes you just needed to restart the router. Just restart it. I don't know. Maybe it's a bug inside the router or something. Um, then you can just start Wireshark again. There could be so many reasons why it's doing that. Restart. Mm-hmm. So close that. Um, just follow along. I'm gonna stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop it and start
It
again.
continued from the same place.
Yeah, you start a new session. It might require that we restart the whole VM, the whole GNS3 VM. Let's start. Let's see what happens. It's still looping. Like normally it's fine for it to loop like that, but if it continues doing that, then you just know that it hanged. So let's try again. And my guy is not logging in. Oh, it did log in actually. It did log in. Hmm. Let's double check now. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Oh, it wants me to log into the domain. Let's see if we can ping the router. Was it hanging for you as well?
Huh?
Was it hanging for you?
Yeah, same. It was looping. Then it said some on number 5, it said CDP, then it looped again.
Yeah. So let's restart the whole VM, the whole virtual machine. Oh, yeah. The way you can do that is to actually just close your whole project. So first of all, before you do that, stop the capture, close the whole project, exit, right? It's gonna shut down the VM. This VM is gonna shut down, right? Because this was happening to me. But after I restarted it and it was fine from there, but it will only do it again the next time. So, and you can just start GNS3 again.
And just, oh my god, my thing is not.
Yeah, that's the thing, running a virtual machine inside a virtual machine.
God, man, this thing is slow.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna experience. And there could be many reasons why it's slow. But I have to say the performance is not too bad. It's terrible, but it's not too bad. It could be worse. Like, if you were on a computer, like let's say you were to do this on your computer, you wouldn't be able to run this many VMs.
Fact.
Yeah. How many gigs is this? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 2 gigs. This is almost even 2
My hard
gigs.
drive will be. I don't know what will happen to my hard drive.
Okay. So open your
Collapse.
project. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait for it. Mm-hmm. And then start. Okay. Let's start capturing. You just open this, click here, and then start capture. Okay. Now that looks like normal traffic. See, so it's backward.
Oh,
It's working now. Is your one working?
now my thing is just opening now.
Okay. So yeah, you can see they're communicating now. The network is communicating. It's working. It's live. Let's try a ping. I'm gonna try a ping from Kali Linux because I thought, how could it not be pinging? So I'll ping here and see. There we go. Pinging is working. And we can go back to Wireshark and actually see those pings come through. I just closed the whole thing. Yeah. So let's double check here. There we go. There's Kali Linux pinging the router, right? See, and you can see the contents of the ping and everything. Yeah. So now that we can ping, next step. What's the next step now? Teams is really annoying me now. Oh, we need to do telnet. Yes. So by default,
Still haven't been.
is your thing not working?
No, it's opening the Wireshark thing now.
Okay. I'll continue on. I'll continue
Stop.
and
And then
I'll explain something quickly. So I'm in one of the client PCs, right?
yeah.
Let's assume that yes, we are normal ordinary people working in a company. There's 2 PCs. I'm logged in, and I want to connect the router and configure it. Right? By default, Windows doesn't install Telnet. So if I type in Telnet, it's like, what in the world is Telnet? Right? You see there? It doesn't know.
Yeah.
So and usually an admin would install this. So I actually had already installed Telnet on the server, right? If I go to the server, let me just minimize it because there's no way to press Control Alt Delete. I'm gonna log in and then show you that I've already installed it actually, but then I'll show you how to actually install it yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if this is updated. Refresh. Yeah, updated. Cool. Mm, it would be great if I had PowerShell on this. I know I do have. Let's go. PowerShell. Run that for me, please. Clear. Okay, there we go. Look, on this PC, I already installed. This is the server. The admin is here. I already installed Telnet. So, there we go. Right? Yeah. Let me exit out of here. Escape character is control plus that. That didn't work. That does not work. Can we exit? How do I exit Telnet? This is becoming a Vim situation. You remember Vim from I forgot his name. So bad. I always forget people's
Reese?
names. Yes, Reese. Yes, thank you. Can't believe I forgot his name. We haven't talked in a while. So I'll run PowerShell again. I prefer using PowerShell than CMD. Okay.
It's calling you here.
Okay, let me pause the video. Okay, so I have Telnet already installed, right? So
So I need to download it, isn't it? I need to set it up.
you need to set it up as well. So I think of it in a real world scenario, who would be using Telnet to connect to that router? Probably the server admin. So try to install it on your server. So log into the server. You don't need. That's why I was saying you don't really need the other PCs. It's maybe basically just to check whether we actually have a working network. That's the whole point of the other PCs. So the server admin.
So I shouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, you shouldn't worry about the other PCs now because the network is working, right? But now let's configure Telnet on the server. So log into your server and I'll show you the commands you need to enter to configure Telnet.
Are you still recording?
Yes, I'm recording.
Let me log on to my server. I go into the command line.
Yes. Preferably PowerShell. If you are in command prompt, just type in PowerShell. It will load PowerShell within command prompt.
Okay. Just log in here. This thing is becoming slow.
It's gonna be slow, but it's not terrible. You can actually get your work done. This is just a project. It's not supposed to be the best of performance.
Administrator.
I actually don't know how they want to mark this if it's gonna be a group project. I think we're gonna have to keep the VMs alive until they can come and log in and see the VMs working.
Yeah.
But if it's a group project, I think
Huh?
if it's a group project, I think only one person needs to take the snapshots, eh?
Yeah, it only needs to be one document.
Okay, so but I think we have proof because we are recording, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is. Oh yes.
And we are doing it one by one, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So install. You wanna type in install.
Yeah.
Yeah. Windows. I tend to use auto completion, so you can just tab and it will probably find it if it works. I noticed these VMs, they're kind of slow, so they take a while to process that information.
Is it like case sensitive?
Not really, but you have to make sure you spell the things correctly. Like I just spelled it wrong here. Install. So you have to say Windows.
Yeah.
Wait, slow down. Windows feature, and then in quotations here now, telnet. Telnet client is actually sensitive, case sensitive, I think.
Okay.
Spell it correctly, Ian. So install Windows
Oh my
feature.
goodness. I made a mistake on my spelling.
If you spell it wrong, it will give you an error. Until you get it right, then it will continue.
Yeah, that's what I just noticed.
So if you press that, it will basically do that. So my one installed. So if you type it in like that, it will install. My one was already installed, so it didn't need to do anything. So it just finished quickly. Your one will probably take like 1 minute. So
Collecting data.
it's installing. So it's gonna take about 1 minute. Still, I don't know. NS lookup does not look like it's working for the router. If I type in router, it doesn't find it. Then that means we need to basically set it up ourselves. I don't even know if I'm on the Windows. Am I on the Windows server or what? I am. Doesn't look like a server. DNS. My gosh, it's so slow. Manager.
Success.
It worked?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to do something quickly. I know it's unnecessary, but I just want to do it. I basically want to add a new A record for router and the IP address. Do you know the IP address, right?
Which one? The 192.168.8.1.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There we go. So, yeah. If we ping router, we should be able to get a call back.
Was I supposed to do that also?
You don't have to do it.
Okay.
You see? So my one works.
Yeah.
Let me try ping router and see if it works. You don't have to do it. I just like I'm like that. You know me. See? So it's working. So we're able to ping router. So now I can just say telnet. You know most the IP address of the router, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna do router. And now here's the important part. We need to actually make sure that our thing is working. Our Wireshark is actually tracking the stuff. Because telnet is gonna come up here, and we need to take that information in. Because we're gonna see the password. We're gonna see the password pretty soon.
So I need to open my Wireshark.
Yeah, is your Wireshark opened?
Yeah, it's open.
You don't have to open it. Like just work on the server. But once we're done logging in, we're gonna go into PowerShark. I mean, PowerShark, Wireshark. Just press that. Yeah. So then you type in the username that you set up. Telnet admin. Remember that, right? And the password. Capital T telnet. Password at SS. Yeah. There we go. We logged in. This is the router.
The password outside.
Yeah. See, we logged into the router. This is the router, right? So if we go back to to Wireshark or PowerShark.
Oh, what's the username? Telnet admin.
Yeah, for me, that was for me. I don't know what you said yours. So here we go. We have telnet packets going through the network. Now we need to see
Uh-huh.
where they actually started, so you can see. We'll find the password. Yo, we sent a lot of information. Maybe I shouldn't have typed so much. Okay, here we started. We set up a SYN-ACK. So we connected to the router. Oh wait. This is from the server sent a SYN, and then the router acknowledged with the SYN-ACK, and then the ACK from the thing to say, okay, now we are connecting. This is basically the SYN-ACK connection stream or flow, whatever. So you send a request, the server acknowledges the request, and you also acknowledge that you have received the permission to connect. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's time to see the password. So you go under telnet. I'm not pretty sure which side it is on. Let's have a look here quickly. I think it's okay. Telnet. It's echo. Okay, there we go. So it starts here. So we basically sent it a connection. We connected, and then we told it, oh, we want to communicate with telnet. Yeah, and then it basically said, okay, give me your password. I mean your username, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sends this and says, give me your username, and then we start typing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then where is it? Uh, hmm. We start typing. Let's have a look here. So there, I sent T. That's the first character I sent.
Yeah.
T. Did I send T twice? I think I deleted. Yeah. Then so it was T. Then I sent an E, right? Why is it sending it twice? Then an L. It looks like it's sending it twice. Oh wait. I see what's going on.
Oh, it's sending to the router and the server.
Yeah, so the router sends an L, and then the router says, "Oh, okay, I got back an L. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So
Okay,
just to they acknowledge, isn't this the continuation of that acknowledge thing?
yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe that's how the protocol works. So then there's a TCP arc. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I think it's like I send a L. Server says, "Did you send me an L?" I sent you an L because it says the act.
For TCP to make sure the packet has reached the client,
Yeah.
has reached its destination.
Maybe,
Oh.
maybe something like that. So then we go again. Okay, I'm sending you an N. Did you send me an N? Yeah, I did. So
Yes, I did.
okay, then we go on. We
No,
go on.
N TCP there it will be N has reached.
Mm. Okay. So yeah, here we go. Here's my username. We're basically typing in the username, and then I type dash. Okay, this is unnecessarily long now. Where does it end? Now we gotta start seeing the password. Boom! It asks me, "What's your password?" Right? You remember seeing that, right?
Mm,
What's your password?
yeah.
There we go. T, right? For the password, it doesn't actually acknowledge. It just goes straight up. So T E L N E, right? T
Yeah.
P @ right? And that's the
Yeah.
password. We're done. We logged in. There we go. We got the password from Telnet, right? Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we've tackled this question. It's done. We know Telnet is configured because we were able to connect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, we tackled this part. This whole part is tackled. This whole part is done.
Oh, the passes.
Yeah, we did it.
That's
We did that. So we definitely don't need Wireshark anymore. You can close it. We can keep it open if we want to, but we can close it because it's gonna be really.
It's down a lot because my one is set like it is.
Yeah. So that's done. So now it's time to do Nmap. This is gonna be fun. For Nmap, let's try log into all the computers.
Okay.
Now that is quick. I can stop this capture. Stop all captures. Okay. Wow. What a process, eh? It's gonna be another 2 hour video.
How many hours is it?
It's 1 hour 20 minutes.
Should we also log into Linux?
That's where we need to go now. We need to go there now.
Or after we've logged on to both the computers?
Yeah, like all the computers we need to log into.
Oh,
Oh, what is this? Which computer is this? And it freezes my whole PC. Eesh. Oh, that was Windows Server.
let's set it up.
Hmm. So let's connect to Linux. Kali Linux. Connect. Now we're gonna play around in here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's clear this. Now we're gonna play around with Nmap.
Okay, let me go to Linux now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's really cold.
There's a password.
I'll pause and start when you all figured it out. When you let's just quickly check if we have Cisco Touch. Can we do that quickly? Because that's gonna be the next thing we're gonna do. I just want to know if we're gonna need to install it. If we need to install it, that means we need to configure internet connection. So let's just type in which Cisco. I don't know if it's called Cisco Touch. It didn't reply. Is it installed? Let's just double check. No such command. Let me just double check how Cisco Touch works quickly. Let me just double check here. Cisco Touch. I'm gonna pause and then we're gonna come back. Just double check.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, I spelled Cisco Torch. Is it Torch? No, wrong. So it's called Cisco Torch, not Cisco Touch, and it's not installed. So we need to install it, and we have no internet connection, right? So we actually need to set up an internet connection on our stuff, right? So here's a cool way. There's many ways to do it. We can basically just we connect the router straight to this thing over here, right? And then give it internet connection. So I'll give you an example. I'll show you what I mean by this. I know this is not part of the project. It's actually not part of the project, but they should have thought of that before they told us to to use Cisco Torch when they know it's not installed on Kali Linux, right? Because yeah, on a normal VM setup, they could all have internet connection, right, based on the router. But in a lab, it shouldn't be the case. So let's install an internet connection, right? I think I'll put it here, right? So this is internet.
Mm. Should we also do what this is the example?
Say again?
Is this the example?
Example how? Oh, it's 0.
You
There
said
we
you're
go.
gonna show an example. Are we supposed to do it?
Well, if you want to install Cisco Touch on the Kali Linux, you're gonna need internet on the network. So I'm trying to set up internet. This is ETH0 on the thingy. Hold on. Let's see quickly. Let's do it on the host quickly. This is interesting. I didn't know this. Just want to investigate this quickly. Um, ah, okay. Yeah, this is actually what I wanted. I wanted that. Um, apply. Press OK. I can delete this one. And then I'm gonna call this internet. This is actually Azure internet.
Are we putting it on the GNS host or on the VM?
On the GNS host. So, and now this router needs to actually get a new port.
Okay, I think I have one more port that's empty.
Slot, and then we just add a new one. Scolaco, which one? Yeah, the Giga. Apply, press OK. Then this one. Ah, come on. I configured you. Delete.
What happened?
No, I forgot to add it. I just clicked it, but I never added it. There we go. Then I can apply. Just do this default. This one connects to that one. Now, question is, one thing I want to know is this actually gonna work? Let's check on the router quickly. Because this is Azure right now, and this is the router. This is also still having a problem connecting for some reason. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Let's just have a look. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give it. Let me try ping Google quickly. It's not gonna work. Yeah, it's not gonna work. So, can you stop? We need to configure so that we have an IP address. So we need to basically config terminal, right? So this one that we wanna, it's gigahertz. How do you? Is it called FA or what?
GB.
Interface. So gigahertz. Yeah, there we go. So 1/0. So that's the one we want to configure right now. We want to configure it and give it an IP address. Will it know? I'm not sure if it's gonna know. Let's just try. Gonna give it an IP address. It has to be on the network for the host. So it's which is 10.0.0.0, right? So what we actually want to give it now is an IP address maybe of 10. Let's just give it 10. So 10.0.0.10. Then I'm gonna put it in the same. I'm gonna give it the same subnet mask. That's 0. Right? I'm not sure if that's all we need. It could be. Oh, I didn't put in no shutdown. Damn it. Let's try this again. Um, no. Shut down. Okay. So now, let's try ping Google. 10.0.0. Oh, I want to ping Google, not myself. 10.0.0.0.8. Let's see if it works. Success rate 0. Didn't work. Let's just pause here and investigate this quickly because we just need internet connection. And then, oh, I've been busy recording. Did I not pause?
I thought you paused.
I'm losing energy. And I just